All right, so a couple weeks ago I talked about goal setting and how much that helps us work towards something so we can always make progress. What I want to talk to you about today is the number one thing that stops people from achieving their goals, and that's negative self-talk. So negative self-talk is essentially when you treat yourself like shit. Now, whether it's expressed out loud or in your head, it's still something that's going to be deterrent or a deterrent from you reaching your goals or achieving anything really. And one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is the way they talk to themselves versus how they talk to other people. Now, when you talk to other people, let's say your best friend, for example, if they make a mistake, you probably say something like, "Hey man, it's no big deal. You'll learn from it and you'll get better." However, when we make mistakes as individuals, sometimes we treat ourselves way differently. I mean, I know I've had a lot of issues with negative self-talk in the past where if I made a mistake, I wasn't good enough, I was a piece of shit, and I couldn't achieve anything. And that's a huge issue because we live with ourselves 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if we spend the majority of that time talking down to ourselves or telling ourselves why we're not good enough or we can't do anything, we're gonna have a really tough time being happy, being positive, and achieving any goals that we have. So understand when it comes to goal setting, if it's a long-term goal, let's say your goal is all the way over here, but you're right here at your starting point. Somewhere along this gap on your journey, you're gonna make some mistakes. The worst thing you can do for yourself when you make a mistake like that is tell yourself that you're not gonna reach your goal or tell yourself that you're not good enough because you made that mistake. We need to remember that mistakes are learning opportunities. Now, when we learn from our mistakes, we're able to make progress and keep moving forward towards our goal. Now, whether we're moving forward 1 inch, 1 foot, 1 meter, or 1 mile a day, we want to keep moving forward. So we have to be okay sometimes with taking baby steps and shuffling our feet a little. But we make it way harder on ourselves to do that if we're constantly talking shit to ourselves. And you can think about any goal you've ever had in your life, whether it's weight loss or if it's something with school or something with work. You could think about mistakes you made that you handled well, and you could think about mistakes that you made that you handled poorly and beat yourself up for. And what we want to do is have an awareness of how we each have the potential to be our own worst enemy. We got to ask ourselves why we would do that. Why would I have a negative relationship with the person I'm around the most? That's me. And why am I so good to other people and so shitty to myself? We really have to think about this. So what I want you to do, the biggest takeaway from this video today, is an awareness of negative self-talk so that you can catch yourself if you start to fall into one of those kind of negative self-talk cycles where you're just constantly beating yourself up, because that's going to pull you further away from where you want to go. And unfortunately, it's going to affect the way you treat other people. And if you're like me, you don't really want to go around treating people like crap because you've got issues with yourself. I've done it before. It's not fun. So I want you to think about treating yourself like you would treat your best friend or a family member when they make a mistake. You probably tell them to forgive themselves. You probably tell them just to learn from it and move on and keep pressing through so that they can get to where they want to go. So this Mindset Monday, let's start thinking about how we treat ourselves, how we talk to ourselves, and how we can either be our best friend or our worst enemy. And the cool thing is, we get to choose and we get to learn from every mistake we make. And if you haven't done so already, click the link below to subscribe to our channel. I'll see you next time.